Hello, in this video I'm going to talk about the Python and Pandas library. Pandas library is helpful once we want to load our data from different data sources like CSV file or Excel file or even databases. So we need to take advantages of Pandas library to clean and do some data wranglings in our dataset. First of all, I need to import the Pandas library. Import Pandas as PD, and then I'm going to read my data set. I would like to put a name like reward underline df data frame is equal to PD, which is pandas library dot read CSV. This is the functionality of the pandas library, and I pass the name of the data set, rewards data CSV, and then I would like to look at the first 20 records of this data set. Let me correct this one, rewards. And let's give it a try. Yeah. Okay, by looking at the first 20 records of our data frame, we would be able to understand what is the columns in this data frame, which are user ID, birth date, city, state, zip, available points, total points earned, point spent, join on, last seen, and tags. So by looking at the tags column, we would be able to see that some of the records have some data like this one, which is getting separated by pipe, and the data is not that much meaningful. So maybe in the future we will be able to get rid of this column and drop it because it's not that much meaningful and the purpose of this column is not that much clear. But the other ones we would like to look at for any null value or incomplete value, and we would be able to see this non-null. They are those ones that we will manage it in future, the next step actually. And the other one is for state. For example, we are able to see some of the data are abbreviation like NC, but some of them is the complete name like this one. So we would like to see all of the data in one column are the same structure. Okay, now we are able to use this function is NA. For example, for now, I put the name of the framework, rewards df is NA. It would be able to show us the same size of the framework, the original framework, and put a false or true for different value in our data set. False for it means that it's not empty, and true it means that it is empty. The other things that I would like to see here is to count how many of these value are empty or not. So for doing that, I will be able to doing this. Missing data is equal to this data frame and this function, and then append another function which is sum. I would like to get a sum of all of this, and then let's show it the final result of this one and give it a try. Yeah. As you can see, for user ID, we don't have any null value, but for the birth date, we are able to see this count of the value, which is null. For this one, they are 0, and for the last thing, it is 221. Now we can continue with more valuable data, actually, like getting the percentage of this missing value by doing that. I introduce another variable like missing data percentage, and it is equal to this missing data divide by length of the whole data frame, which is rewards data frame, and multiply 100, and let's present this variable, visualize it, and run it. Okay, then okay. By looking this percentage, we would be able to make a decision about how we would like to proceed with this empty value in this column. For example, for the city, birth, state, and zip, we would be able to see that this percentage is very high. But for the last scene, it is about the 3%, which is not that much high. So let's just have a look at this last scene column in more details. For doing that, I would like to reference to our data frame, rewards df for this column, which is last scene, to see what is the data type of this column, which is object. So let's first of all convert it to the date, which is, and as you can see, this is the date. The object type for this data type is not that much good, so I would like to change it to the date time. For doing that, I would be able to get advantages of the pandas library, and I'm saying that this reward data frame, it's gonna be equal to pd dot date time for again this data frame, and then let's see what is the result. Okay, yeah. As you can see, it helps us to change it to the date time. Okay, now I'm going to find out what is the range of this last scene column. So for doing that, I would be able to use min and max, reference to the data frame for this column. Give it a run. Okay, this is the minimum, and now I would like to fill all of those empty value with the minimum value. For doing that, I'm saying that for this one, fill NA, and value is this minimum one. And I'm saying that in place is true. In place, it means that once we want to replace a value with something else, it's gonna create another copy of the data frame and put those a new value in that data frame. That's why we just put a true here. Run it. And now let's see how many empty do we have in this column. For doing that, this is NA, and let's see what is the sum of this. Okay, perfect. That's filled with a minimum value, so there is no any empty anymore in this column. Now, for the rest of the records, if you remember, for those column like birth date and zip and other columns, we had a high volume of the empty value in those columns. Actually, it's not a good idea to drop all of those empty values for those columns, because it is a high percentage of empty value in those columns, and it depends on what is the reason of those empty value, and we would be able to just find what is the accurate data for those ones and replace it in the original data frame. But in this case, because we don't have the accurate data, we want to go with the dropping those rows from our data frame. But again, I'm saying that it is not in the real scenario that we are going to proceed with that. It is the best practice to find out what is the reason that those column had that much empty or missing value. Okay, so for doing this, I would like to just introduce a new variable, rewards df sample, which is equal with the original data frame. And I want to use the method of the drop NA, which is gonna drop all of those NA from my data frame. And let's see what do we have now in this data frame. Let's visualize it. Okay, this is the new one, and let's get a sum of the from this. So this one, this data frame is NA. Okay, all of the column, as you can see, has 0 for empty value. Okay, after managing all of the missing value in our data frame, now let's drop that tags column that I already said that the data in that column is not that much meaningful, and we are not sure that what is the purpose of this column exactly. So we would be able to drop it from our data frame. For doing that, I refer to our data frame, the last one that I created from my original one. It was the rewards data frame sample, and I'm saying that it is equal to itself. It is a rewards data frame sample and drop. What is the column? I want to specify what is the column exactly, and saying that the name of the column is the tag, I think. The name of the column is tags. Give it a try. Okay. Okay, and then let's visualize the data frame to make sure that that change has happened. Yeah, as you can see, there is no column called tag here in our data frame. Now let's clean the data frame for the data in the columns and start with the city. For doing that, we need to understand what is the unique value in this column. So I refer to the last state of the data frame, which is this one. And then I'm saying that city unique values gonna be equal for this data frame for this specific column, which is city, and the unique method. This unique method gonna return us an array from all of the unique values in this column, which is city. And then let's visualize the final result. Try. Okay, this is the one, but as you can see, it's not that much clean and readable. So let's sort it. And here I would like to say first sort it before visualize it. Yes. Now it's better, and for example, for this name of the city, we are able to see that it is in the different version appeared in our data frame, and we would like it in a unique structure. Okay, for cleaning this messy data for this a different instance of the same city, we would like to use the replace method. For doing that, we refer to the last state of the data frame, which is this one. And I'm saying that this one for the specific column, which is city, and we would like to replace method, and we are saying that to replace gonna be this one. Gonna be this one, all of this. Put it in the bracket, close bracket, and then we're saying that the value for the replacement is, for example, this one. And replace is equal to, let's give it a try. Now let's clean the city column again for any leading or tailing spaces. For doing that, I again refer back to the last state of the data frame for this specific column, which is city, and I'm saying this is equal to itself and str strip. And then let's visualize it. Yeah. Now let's clean the other part of this messy data in this column, which is city again. As you can see, for example, for this name of the city, we are able to see that the first word of the name of the city is capital, but for the second one is not capital. For rectify this issue, we need to refer back to the last state of the data set for this specific column, which is here. And we would like to say this one is equal itself and str again, and this is better to just saying that for this city exactly we want to locate what is the location that we want to say, not like that, saying that all of the column of the city. This is better to say this and then say that reward city is equal to str and then title. Yeah, correct. And then let's run this one to see if the change has happened. Yeah, Manhattan Beach has been changed here. Okay, let's do the same thing for the other column, which is state. So I would like to see the unique values of the state one. So I change this one to the state and see, just making sure it is capital, yeah, state. Sorry. Yeah. Okay, as you can see, this is a mixture of the abbreviation and the full name. So we would like to see either way, abbreviation or the full name, but the same thing in whole of the column. For doing that, we need to make a Google search or something to get a complete list of all of the estates name and abbreviation. So I did it already. Let's get a copy it here. this is whole of the thing that I get it from the Google, and then we would like to proceed with the for each loop to replace this value in the column. Now, based on this list that we get it from the Google, we want to replace in our data frame the correct abbreviation. We're gonna use the replace again here. We're gonna use the for each loop in our data frame, and for a state name in this list, the list name is this one. We want to our data frame, which is rewards df sample for state replace with the to replace for the state name and the value going to be this. Again, refer to this one. For a state name. And in place should be true. Now we would like to convert this dictionary to a data frame. For doing that, we can introduce a new data frame, which is state df, and it is equal to pd.dataframe we want to make it as a list, and we pass this dictionary name, dot items, and then we say that the columns for this one, as you can see, this is the abbreviation, then it would be the state, and the second one is the full name, it is the state name, and that's it. And then visualize this data frame. After converting the dictionary to the data frame, I would like to have a merge between my last state of the original data frame with this new data frame for the dictionary one, and then include all of the values which are available in this one to my original data frame for the state value. For doing that, I need to take advantage of the merge possibility in Panda. So I would say that my last state of the data frame, which was the rewards data frame sample, going to be equal pd for Panda, and merge for the first data frame, which is rewards sample for the second one, which is this one that I just recently converted to, this dictionary one that I just recently converted to the data frame, this one. And I would say that the merge going to be happen on a state column for these two. And how we can do that? It is for the left join, because we want to keep the value all of the data for this one, which is the original data frame, and add whatever we do have in this data frame to be added to our original one. So let's give it a try. Yeah, it happened. So okay, now I would like to relocate this column estate name and put it next to the estate in this location. For doing that, I introduce a new variable, which is estate name column, and it would be equal to last state of the data frame, which is rewards data frame sample. And I need to pop the specific column, which is estate name. And then I would like to insert it into this location. So this reward df sample, and then insert this one, and I need to specify 3 arguments, which is the location, and the location is going to be 0, 1, 2, and 3, so it's going to be 3. And after that, we need to state the name of that, which is state name. And what is the value? The value is going to be this one. Okay, let's give it a try. Yeah, and then let's visualize this one to see. Yeah, as you can see, this is the estate name here, and this is the estate. Okay, now let's check the other column, which is the zip one, this column, and we will do the same thing that we've done for the city and for the estate. Let's copy this one, that we want to check all of the unique value of the zip column. And then visualize all of this. As you remember, we already introduced this one. This is a new variable that for the zip column, and I'm going to say that find out all of the unique value in this column, and this unique method as return us an array, and this array gonna be sorted, and then after that we visualize the final result, which is this one. As you can see, the number of the figure for the zip code is different. Some of them is more than 5 figures, some of them less than that. Okay, the most important one, for example, is a policy for us. Imagine it is a policy that the zip code needs to be 5 digits. So for doing that, I would like to get rid of all of those which is more than 5. Now I'm going to find out which one of this code is more than 5 digits. For doing that, I say that rewards data frame sample for zip column gonna be equal to this one str, and the location is 5. Yeah, by running this, we don't have any code. The length is gonna be more than 5. And now I would like to say that if it is less than 5, find out which one are less than 5, and I would like to define a condition for doing that, which is Boolean index. For Boolean index, I introduce a new variable, which is zip code Boolean index, and it's gonna be equal to, again, rewards df sample for zip column and str.length, which is equal to 5. So this is the condition, and I want to check this condition to see. Visualize this one. Okay, as you can see, it's gonna be true for all of those that the index is equal to 5. This condition is 5, and it's gonna be false for those one which is less than this, because they have more than that already. And now for applying this Boolean index to my data frame, I need to say the name of the data frame, which is this one. It's gonna be equal to data frame again itself, and I pass this Boolean index to the data frame like this, and run this one. It's gonna be applied to that. And then again, for making sure everything is correct, I would be able to run this code again to see what is the unique values available after all of these changes in the zip column. Okay, it seems that everything is fine. All of the codes are 5 digits and no less than 5 digits or no more than 5 digits. Now I would like to get back again to the city column and see the unique value for the city column. I get a copy of all of this code for the zip one and change it for the city to check what is the current values in city for the unique one. And give it a run. Okay, as you can see, there are a couple of the name for the city name, but this name is not a valid name for the city. For making sure that the data frame doesn't include any row with this name for its city name, we need to remove all those rows from our data frame. For doing that, I refer to my data frame, which is rewards data sample, and I'm saying that this one is equal to itself the value. I'm saying for those one, which is the city value is for example this LMAO, we don't want those one. And run it. Okay, and let's run this one again to see what is the difference. As you can see, that one is disappeared. Okay. Okay, for the last step, I would like to see what is the size of my data frame after all of this wrangling activity. And I check it for my data frame, which is this one. And then give it a try. Yeah, thank you for watching.